All right, today's lesson is probably going to take literally 5 minutes to do, okay? Maybe less, I don't know. So let's draw a triangle. Let's draw two triangles. So let me make this into a triangle. There we go. Oops, let's change. I don't want it solid. Let's do that. Let's make the outline white. There we go. Now where we're supposed to be. I'm just going to, let's see if I can grab it. There we go. Actually, let's not make that triangle. I changed my mind. Let's go back. Oh, this is taking off my 5 minutes because I'm taking too long to do this. All right, let's do this. Let's draw a triangle. Looks like this. It really does not matter what it looks like. I'm just trying to make it look like it looks in my notes. That's all I'm trying to do. All right. Kind of looks like a right angle right there. Doesn't necessarily have to be. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. Group that, control paste. Okay. There we go. So we got two triangles. I copied and pasted. So what do you think is probably true about these two triangles? Yeah, that they're what? Equal? Is that what you said? Congruent to each other. That's right. We always say triangles are congruent. We never say triangles are equal to each other. D, E, F. Okay. So we've learned, let's review briefly, just put them up here, our congruence, our congruence postulates or theorems. Okay, what have we learned so far? What were the two postulates that we learned right off the bat? Side, angle, side, angle. And then we learned what? Something else after that. We learned angle, angle, side, right? And was that it?
We never did side.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we've done so far, right? Okay, so you probably already looked. So what do you think today is? It is. It's side. So it's SSS. Okay, we don't say SSS. We write it like that, but we say what? Side. Okay? So what do you think that means? You could probably teach this lesson right now, right? That this side is equal to this side, right? Now, it doesn't mean that all the sides of this triangle are equal to each other, okay? It just means that this one side on this triangle is equal to a side on this one. A second side is equal to a second side, and a third side is equal to this third side right here. So if you have that situation, I don't know anything about the angles. Every single one of these, I had to know at least one thing about the angles, right? That the angles were equal. On this one, I don't have to know anything about the angles. All I got to know is that three sides of this triangle are equal or congruent to three sides of this triangle. If that's true, if they tell you or if you're able to figure it out, right, from the information that they give you, then these triangles are congruent. So they're going to ask you to write a congruent statement. All right, so what would the congruent statement be? Triangle what? ABC is congruent to triangle. Now, they got to go together, right? They got to match up. Tell you what, let's do this. Sorry if you already wrote this. Why does that thing keep coming up? All right, so...
Just a reminder, National Junior Honor Society has their induction tonight. Anybody being inducted has to be here at 6 p.m. in the sanctuary. National Honor Society will have practice today at 2:30 in the sanctuary. Thank you.
Is it 6 p.m.? Yeah.
Let's make it a little different. Instead of going A, B, C, D, E, F all the time, because I always do that, let's just switch them up a little bit just to make sure. So if I call this A, B, C, what do I have to call this one? F, E, D. That's right. Now, you can just look at it because they're not twisted, right? They're side by side. You can just look at it and see which ones match up. This is the one at the top. That's the top. This is the left. That's the left. This is the right. That's the right. Okay? But what if it was like moved around, twisted around, flipped, and all that kind of stuff? How would you know which angles, which angle goes with which angle over here? The tick marks, okay? Look to see what's opposite the tick marks, okay? So look at angle A. Angle A is opposite the side with what? 3 tick marks. So you look over here, which angle is opposite the side with 3 tick marks? Angle F. Everybody see that? Now again, this could have been twisted around and flipped, right? And then sometimes that's kind of difficult. So sometimes you can't just look at it and tell. So what you do is you look to see what it's opposite, okay? Whatever's opposite over here, you use the one that's over here that's opposite the same thing, all right? So if this is opposite the 3 tick marks, this angle is opposite the 3 tick marks, so the A and the F go together. So that would be F, right? The B. Look at the B. B is opposite the 2 tick marks. So you come over here. Here's 2 tick marks. What's opposite 2 tick marks? E. So we put E. And, of course, the third one, the C and the D would go because that's the only thing left, right? All right. And there you go. And there's your congruent statement. And that's basically it. Now, I did say yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, that there is no congruent statement for what? You remember? I wrote it. I think I did that on the board yesterday. I might have. Remember we said there's no congruent statement for angle, angle, angle. Remember that? So there is no angle, angle, angle. Okay? There's also no side, angle, angle. No, I'm sorry. There is one. Side, side angle, right? Side, side angle. There is no side, side angle. Now, I wrote it like this because we're in a Christian school. We're not supposed to show bad words. So, but if you wrote it the other way, the other direction, it's not really why there's no side, side angle, but it's a way that you can remember, all right, that there's no side, side angle. Because if I wrote it the other way, there is no angle, side, side, all right? Because everybody would laugh and giggle and, all that kind of stuff. That's not the reason why there's not that theorem, but it doesn't exist, all right? So just believe me, we're not going to do any kind of proof or I'm not going to really show you why it doesn't. Just believe me, it doesn't exist. And how do you remember if it does or not? Because if it's angle, side, side, it would spell something that we're not supposed to say in here. And so that's just way it spells donkey. That's correct. All right. And so it does not exist. Everybody good? All right. That's basically it. Okay. So your homework, which you should be able to finish in class today, since we had an early start. So it's page 180. Yes. It's 1 through 6. Okay. That's all it is. And it's really easy. Yeah, it's the easiest one you've ever done. It's only 6 problems, and they're super easy. You just tell me why the triangles are congruent. And, hey, why are we still talking? I'm still up here saying stuff. So they'll also do something like this. You've done this before. It's not new to you. They'll say, are these, if I can click that, are these triangles congruent right now with that information? With the information that's there right now, are those triangles congruent? No, because I took something off of there, okay? Right, so there's no side-side postulate or theorem, okay? You got to know all 3 sides. But the question on the homework is going to be, are they congruent? You would say no. And then they're going to say I don't know exactly what they say, but they say something about fill in the information to make those congruent. If they were to be congruent, what would have to be true? So what would have to be true for these to be congruent? Yeah, BC equals ED. Now, you could also say, I guess, unless, I don't know, anybody got the book open? Read what the instructions say to that. Okay, they say if it's, okay. So they say if side, side, side. So if they give you this, you could have said, oh, if angle A is equal to angle F, then they're congruent, right? Because it's side, angle, side. But they don't say that. They want you to make them congruent because of what? Side, 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 okay? So you would have to do what? You would have to say, what would have to be true for these to be congruent because of side, side, side? BC must equal what? ED, okay? It's really easy, all right? That's why we're taking the quiz tomorrow, because this lesson was so short. I'm not going to waste a whole day because of this short lesson. All right, now the quiz is tomorrow. Quit crying about it. That's when it is. All right, enough of that.